Welcome back to the Lipoedema Podcast for 2025. I'm Shell.
And I'm Tiana. And we thought we would kick off the year with a little update from us. And we are more committed this year to have more episodes, even if they are shorter in length, where it's just us having conversations. So we're starting that off by kicking off today with a little update.
Yeah, just what we're up to. When we first started, we're like, well, we'll have some guests in and we'll have a chat about what we're doing. And then we've been inundated with guests, which we are so grateful for. We love the response. But this year, we're going to give you some more to listen to. And we're going to show up more on our socials as well.
Yeah.
And, just really put more effort into building our community.
Yeah.
Which I'm going to love.
Yeah, I was surprised that people, our listeners were asking about more updates from us, because I sort of thought it was great that we were saturating the podcast with all of our guests. Their stories, your stories are so important. And then the specialists that we've gotten on, the surgeons, the lymphatic specialists, the nutritionists and stuff, have had such great information. And then when people asked for more of us, I was like, really? How come?
So we're just the facilitators, people. We're just facilitating this for you. But no, that's pretty cool.
We aim to please. So here we are.
We are here.
But Happy New Year, Shell.
Yes, Happy New Year. And we're in the same room. We've decided that's one of the things we're doing this year, now that we have another addition to the Lipoedema Podcast, that we are going to meet up once a month, do our recordings instead of our little weekly, which was quite relentless, really. Yeah. By the time we'd done our bit of recording and then did all the editing and then did all the design files, now we can dedicate a day a month where we just get together and smash it out. So it'll mean that we can do more with our time. Smarter, not harder.
It's been so different, and like there's benefits and there's pros and cons to each. Like I really liked that we had that flow every week of, thinking about and reinvigorating our purpose for Lipoedema. But then, as you mentioned, with our new addition, Nova, who's almost 4 months old, recording at nighttime is not conducive to no crying environment in my house at the moment. It'll probably be like for a little bit longer. So she is with my mum getting lots of cuddles today while we crack down, and I can really focus my attention, although I still have baby brain.
I don't think that ever leaves you, babe. Like, my youngest is 14. I still clutch at straws sometimes. Can't figure out what words have got to come out. And they get really frustrated when people don't understand me.
Yeah.
I'm like, you know what I'm trying to say.
I get frustrated at myself when I can't think of the word. It's so obvious. So silly. Anyway, for today's episode, for our welcome back, we just wanted to give a little update on where we are this year, particularly with our Lipoedema and what our focus of this year. So I'd love to hear what you're up to, Shell, and how your Lipoedema is going and what you see for 2020 for yourself.
Yeah. Thanks, babe. So, I think it's time to call my own bullshit, really. I really think, as much as I do the things, I don't do them with intent. Not the right intention. I'm like, I just have to do this thing. And so this year's going to be more having good intent behind what I'm doing. So I have a dietitian and I've been seeing him. I love him. I love his evidence-based approach. I love the food, the rest. I love it all. I'm still overeating. I'm still eating too much. And not that weight loss is really what I'm after. I'm just want to be at the best physically, mentally, emotionally that I can be. And food has such a big impact on that. So I have called my own bullshit and I'm like, okay, let's just follow the plan. Let's eat the beautiful food, but not too much of it. And so that's something that I'm really focusing on this year, because I have decided to go ahead with surgery when my time comes up.
Big news.
No, I know. And so as crazy as it sounds, I have almost this guilt with it, because I put myself in this space where I thought I had to be the voice for those who couldn't have surgery. And so I'd resigned myself to the fact that, no, I have to not get surgery because there's so many people who can't get surgery. And does that mean I don't love my body and appreciate my body and accept my body and embrace my body. And that was just more bullshit talk. That was just more of my internalized weight stigma, all of that shit going on. And so I just went, no, I am only 50. I can afford it. I am going to go ahead. So I was always on Dr. Samaya's wait list, but I wasn't going to go ahead. I was just like, I'll just stay on the wait list, see what happens. And it was only over the holidays I went, hang on a minute. No, I'm going to get it. I'm going to go ahead. So yes, so for me, it's going to be getting surgery ready. And that's more than just physical work. I think a lot of mental and emotional stuff that I need to work on, like a lot of those beliefs that I'm holding on to that don't serve me, that aren't mine, that I've got from somewhere else. So yeah, a lot of.
Wow.
That was.
You've been back and forthing about the surgery for a long time.
Yeah.
And I think it's so easy to make an excuse that, there are people in our community that would benefit from having the discourse be between somebody who's had surgery and somebody who hasn't. But in fact, we haven't done a lot of episodes between each other to talk about that. We have warriors on that either have or haven't had surgery, and we have specialists on that talk about surgery or not. So we have that variety. And there's not a lot of us talking about surgery or not. We talk about other aspects of lipoedema as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's right.
You have to put yourself first.
Yeah.
As much as we love this podcast, you can't always put the podcast first, Shell.
Yes, I know. So yes, I have decided to do that. So that means getting surgery ready. So that means, really honing in on why I'm doing things, how I'm doing things. When it comes to food, I'm pretty good. Like I still wear my compression, I'm ice bathing, like I do all the things, but it's just upping the ante a little bit to be ready.
Intention.
Yeah. Do it all with intention.
Love that.
Yeah. So that's lipedema wise. That's me for this year. And career wise, I'm still working as a teacher. I'm a special ed teacher still, but I'm moving into the guidance officer space. So,
and you love that, don't you?
I do love that.
It lends itself to your certifications as a counsellor.
Yeah.
And because you were thinking about branching out and supporting the lipedema community as well last year. And I'm sure that there's space for a little bit of that. But maybe if you secure that guidance officer role, you'll have a bit more space. Because Shell works in special education. It's no small feat to do 5 days a week to, with those people that need you so desperately, but take up a lot of your space. And then to come off that and try and do the podcast and other things that you want to do, that would be hard. Yeah. So
yeah,
maybe a guidance officer role would give you more breadth and space to be able to fulfill those things that you want.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what I think too. I'd be able to do more of my passion projects, put more time into it, because once I leave my office, it's done.
Yeah.
Whereas in the classroom, like I've been tapped into so much throughout the day that I didn't have a lot. And I've got 4 teenagers at home. So yeah, that's that's a lot. But
she's got a bit on.
I got a little
Shell. Our Shell.
I love it. I get bored very easily, but yeah. And I need to watch that. And someone was actually saying to me yesterday, I was saying that I was quite depleted, and they're like, well, that's because of the frequency levels. Like you're at a higher frequency, so people are tapping into you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that made sense. Like that made sense to me. And the amount of times I say, I met someone, we must have been on the same frequency because we got along so well, and we, it was easy.
You bounce off each other.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think more finding people on my frequency this year as well.
Yeah.
I think that's what I need too.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about you?
Me. Okay. So, I guess it's no secret that I am on a postpartum journey right now. And I love how you started your section with calling your bullshit, because I think there's a bit of that for me too. But mine's a bit different. Mine's calling my bullshit about before I got pregnant, I was very easily touting like body positivity, like it's all good and we've got the power to change things, and, and I wasn't really going through a lot of challenge. And now postpartum has hit me with the challenge of my body being so very different. And I need to remember that I still have the power, and I need to actually practice what I preach, because I'm now going through a hard time, and it's easy to say all that stuff when you're not going through a hard time. And so I'm going to call out my own bullshit as well and walk the path that I have made the bed I lied in, basically. And I'm going to treat myself as well as I can in the limited time that I have, and really just embrace the body that's been given to me, because it birthed a child, it birthed multiple children, it carries me everywhere. It's being kind to me really with my lipedema. I've got a lot of inflammation. I have this belly that I'm not used to now. None of my clothes fit. It's time to really practice that love that I was preaching when everything was like really easy.
Yeah, when you were coasting.
I was coasting,
Yeah.
like I could work out every day and get 8 hours of sleep every night. Like, yeah, easy peasy, love my body. And now I'm like, damn, I do not love my body. And I feel a bit defeated in the fact that I don't have the time or space to do all of those things that I was doing before for my previous body.
Yeah.
So now's the time to practice that love.
I think you've also got to take into account that you had 2 surgeries leading up to falling pregnant.
Yeah.
So your body went from it's still healing to, now I've got to grow a human.
Yeah. And that's a massive difference between this pregnancy and last pregnancy. So first of all, I'm 7 years older than when I had my first pregnancy. When I had my first pregnancy, I was in the best possible shape. I wasn't skinny. I've never been skinny, but I was so fit. I was running. I was doing strength work. We had boot camp. Like Matt and I loved going to boot camp. I was strong and fit, and it was just all happening. And so getting back to some sort of body after that felt a little bit less of a mountain to climb. Then this time around, the pregnancy was unexpected, and it was post 2 surgeries. I'd never gotten my fitness and my strength back. I was doing some strength work, and I was, exercising as much as I could, but nowhere near to the point where I was before my surgeries. And so my body has really taken a massive toll with the pregnancy and with those surgeries. And so I've got a long, long way to go and a lot of effort to keep going. And I'm just not going to get the outcome quickly. I'm a really impatient person.
Yeah.
So I really just need to give it all some grace and give myself some love.
Honor her, understand, you know what she's been through, just love her through that, and she'll get there.
And probably say hello to the new body of mine.
Yeah, that's true.
Because I don't know what will become of this body. I'm not going to look like what I looked like before. No.
Yeah.
Much like I don't look like what I looked like before the twins. And I'm not sure how to say hello to that person or welcome that person yet. And I think it's still a year, like I've got a year or 2 years to go, and it's going to change, and I'll struggle with those changes. But I think this podcast and these conversations that we have with these women and this community is a really good place for me to check my bullshit, like you said.
Yeah. And I think the hardest thing too is like, you've also got perimenopause now. You know what I mean? And I think, and that's like we speak to a lot of our guests, and that menopause, perimenopause is a progression time for a lot of people. And that scares me to my core, because I've just got used to being here where I am, and all that I need to do right now, what if it is just keeping me in equilibrium for now? Like all this hard work is just keeping me at this status quo. And the moment I take my foot off the gas,
Yeah, totally. I think a lot of our listeners would share this too, that haven't gone through, the perimenopause and menopause stage, because there is a lot of messaging when we talk to our warriors that have been through that was a time of progression for them. But I also think that they got diagnosed after that, or after that ballooning, whereas we're at a place where we've already been diagnosed and we're already putting things into place. Now, I can't say that our bodies are going to look the same pre-menopause to post-menopause. I can say that we're well informed to do the work to help us the best possible chance to give us the body that can still serve us well through that progression. But I tell you, it does get the shit out of me too, really.
Yeah. Like, we have got all the tools in our toolkit.
Like, it doesn't always equal outcome.
Yes, that's
Which is, I guess, why it's more important to go internally and call ourselves out on our own self-talk and really get that sorted, because who's to care what our bodies look like as long as they can get us from A to B, keep us moving, like
Still have some fun,
have fun.
still explore, be curious. As long as our bodies can carry us through that.
We're not making money from being in sequin bikinis.
No.
Why do we have to look a certain way?
That's right.
Yeah, we don't make money from our bodies. We can be who we are. Anyway, let's hope so.
Flaws and all.
Yeah, I'll keep you updated on that, because I think that it's going to be a bit of a roller coaster. And in fact, we have an episode coming out where you and I have a talk about image and self-image and stuff, and I think it's really topical.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, also, Shell, I just wanted to touch on the fact that you are part of the board of Lipoedema Australia.
Yes, I am.
And so obviously we've got the Lipoedema Australia conference coming up in August this year.
Yep.
You will be there because you're part of the board.
I will.
I will work very hard to be there.
To get there.
Yeah. We're just working out some logistics about whether that's suitable for the family. But a lot of exciting things coming up in Lipoedema Australia space, I'm sure, this year. And maybe after when there's a relevant time, we can get Jen back on and discuss what those exciting things are.
Yeah, absolutely. Once there's a plan in place, I'm sure that we can share it with our listeners about all the amazing things that are going on within Lipoedema Australia. So everyone's working very hard on the conference at the moment because there's a lot going on in the background to make that all happen, like the virtual side as well as the in-person side. So yes, everyone is working ahead at that.
All hands on deck.
Yeah, it really is. There's all the things that I used to be an event, like I organised a big day out a few years in a row. Like I was an event coordinator, but I've been out of it for quite a while now, and so all this lingo and all this, all these things. I'm like, oh, wow, yeah. So it's really good. I'm working with a team of people. It's I'm learning a lot, which is why I joined Lipoedema Australia. I wanted to learn more about the corporate side of Lipoedema.
Yeah.
And see how all that happens. What's involved.
It would be so interesting too to be like in the back end. The influence, the Australian influence, and how that ties into everything.
Yeah.
Exciting stuff to occur. And then back to your regular programming, we're going to have weekly episodes, which is super exciting. A mix of professional and warriors. As always, please like and share and follow and do all the things. Let your friends know about us. And if you'd like to be on a podcast, or if you have a specialist that you go to that you think is excellent, please encourage them to be on our podcast so that we can broadcast the fabulous work that they do, so that other people in your area might be able to find their services as well.
And it's not just warriors, it's other people in their industry. They'll see what they're doing, and then that will grow the industry. So that's really important too. Like if we have an exercise physiologist come on, and then other people in other states hear what he's been doing, then he can educate them, and then it's a ripple effect, and that's what we're really here for, just to branch out and reach as many people as we can.
Yeah, agreed. Exciting things to come in 2025. And I don't really think we need to make this episode any longer.
I think we're good.
But we're looking forward to this year.
Yeah.
Let's call our own bullshit this year.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. Thank you for listening.
Take care.
The Lipoedema Podcast 2025 is powered by Elegance Lymphatic Care. Lipoedema and its symptoms vary from individual to individual. The opinions and advice voiced in this podcast are of a personal nature and used for educational purposes.
Please take away from this podcast what resonates with you, and please see your GP or preferred specialist for diagnosis and healthcare. We are Shelley and Tiana from the Lipoedema Podcast. Until our next episode, bye for now.